Ladies and or gentlemen and or other, this is the recap and review for NCIS Season 12, Episode 22, Troll, and I love it. Spoiler alert. So this whole finale arc is about terrorists recruiting teenagers through the internet, which I think is such a prevalent problem in the world today, and something that I've had to research in school, and something that I think so many people need to be aware of or are becoming aware of. And I think it's great that they chose something so relevant. It makes the storyline 10 times better. Oh my god, there was spinning camera shots. You guys know I'm a sucker for a spinning camera shot. This couple is eating and he tries to give her his grandmother's ring, and I love it because these are people's lives and we don't ever see them again. But they still have lives, which I think is very important to recognize. Car crashes through and oh my god, this person's bleeding from the jugular. Typically an issue. This person was a basketball coach and she was also part of the Navy. Obviously, that's how we know about this murder. So it turns out her laptop is very well encrypted and firewalled, and I don't know if those are real words. But then they find this man's computer and he has the same types of firewalls, and they're like, we need to search your computer, and he's like, not without a warrant. So the girl, of course, is kind of in space and chewing gum and texting and listening to music and probably selling drugs because teenagers on NCIS. Am I right, ladies? They kind of get led down this trail, and it turns out that this girl had been recruited through an online chat room, and they were trying to recruit her into a terrorist group, and it was for the island of homicidal misfit toys. This episode was pretty funny with a lot of the Gibbs-isms, but the funniest part by far was these screen names. Have you ever met a teenager? Ever? I like how the dad was like, oh my god, Scout 99? That's her favorite book, and she was born in the year 99. Sir, are you aware that To Kill a Mockingbird is a rather popular book, and that more than one person was born in the year 1999? So the daughter gets brought in, and she explains the whole thing, and then it turns out it's being ran by someone she goes to school with, and he is very into technology, and he printed a bomb through a 3D printer. I love watching NCIS evolve because this show started in 2003, and in 2003 there were flip phones and dinosaur computers, and Lizzie McGuire was still on the air. It was a very different time. And now we have 3D printers and high-tech touch screens, and everything is so different, and it's adjusting with the times, and there's social media plot lines. It's such an interesting thing, and I love watching that with TV shows that have been on for a long time, because if you watch the first episode and then watch this one, the contrast is incredible. They track this kid down, and he's the leader. So they find the kid on the bus, and he has a bomb, and there's this montage shot of him looking around at mothers and their children, and either there's some mommy issues or one hell of an Oedipal complex occurring. But either way, they find him, and Gibbs is trying to talk him out of it, and it's going really well, and he's about to put the bomb down. And I think I've noted this in the past. NCIS treats local authorities very interestingly. And by interestingly, I mean typically rather dumb. Not quite sure if that's a political statement. So this local cop comes, and he's ready to rapid fire at the kid, so the kid's like, sayonara, and blows himself up. And then Gibbs goes thrown back, and then DiNozzo's yikes. And then there's a big to be continued, and guys know I love a to be continued. I really enjoyed this episode. I'll keep saying this, I think this show has just grown and improved so much since last season. And so every time there's a really good episode, I'm so pleased. This sounds terrible, but I know the episode is really good when I can't wait for the next one. One thing that always kept me coming back was, you guessed it, since that aspect of it is gone, I know the episode has been really well done or has a really good plotline or a really good cliffhanger when I just can't wait for the next one. And that's how I feel about this one. I watched it 2 nights ago, and I just can't wait for the new episode, and I was so upset when I woke up today and it was Monday and not Tuesday. I thought this was such a stellar episode, and it kept me on the edge of my seat, and I was genuinely invested in it, and just Ellie and her husband, Gibbs, has like a bromance happening. That's what's gonna happen. Ellie's husband is going to leave her for Gibbs. That's why he can't be happy, because he's actually in love with a man. So let's wrap up this recap and review with a summary of things we've learned this episode. Teenagers are dumb, so are local authorities. Everything is gay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Drive home safe.